20 years ago, a seed was planted and cared for. We painstakingly nurtured it and weathered it against adversity until one day it blossomed and the fruits of our labor began to show. Today, millions have learned, shared, and been inspired by what our community has produced. We proudly served 21 million users from 204 countries in 2019. For our 85,000 technical articles, code samples, and videos, our 450,000 forum questions, and our highly anticipated conferences and events featuring keynote panels, live streams, and industry experts and influencers, we recognize and reward members for their dedication to the community. Through content contributions and mentorships, we ranked number 2,620 in the world with a reach of millions across our social media channels. Thanks to you, our global community of software and data developers grows stronger each day. For more information, visit us at csharpcorner.com.
Good morning and welcome to this brand new episode of Growth Mindset Show. Yes, we are back. After a couple of months. I took a long break, right? July, August, now September, October. Yes, it was a long break. So we're back after the break. Yes, let's talk about more Growth Mindset Show. I'll update you what we have been doing in the past few months. If you are joining us first time, welcome to the show. If you are joining, you are one of the frequent visitors, viewers, so welcome back to the show. As you know, in this show is for you. In this show, we, talk about different topics. And today we are going to talk about something different. It's called sound therapy and mindfulness. And we will cover a little bit about mental health issues. So that's our topic today's episode. That's what we're going to talk about. So if you have any questions, you have comments, you want to share your thought on that, again, as always, this show is for you. We love to you to participate in it, ask questions, provide feedback, share on your social media, let your friends know what you're watching. If you dislike the show, provide feedback. We definitely appreciate your feedback on that. All right, Deepak, welcome to the show. Looks like people are already joining us. So little background. I was in India. We've been traveling a lot for last 3 weeks or so. I was in India. We did a C# Corner conference 2022. I'm not sure if you're following us on social media. If you are, you probably saw a lot of graphics and videos and images from the conference. We did conference, multi-city conference. It was, while in other cities, it wasn't really, big conferences. We just kind of planted the seed in 5 cities this year. But again, our grand conference was in Delhi. So we did this is funny picture. Yeah, if you were at the conference, or you watched it online, you want to share what you thought, let us know as well. I would love to hear you, what you think, what you thought of the conference. Look at that. This is shell upside down. It's one of the conference days. So we had 2 days conference in Delhi, C# Corner conference. It was amazing. I met a lot of new people. Amazing. It was after 3+ years. After 3+ years, I was back in India. It was amazing. Food was great. Weather was amazing. Like that's the best part, was weather was nice. So good time to be there. And then last day, the third day, we did Bcrypt 2022 conference. That was focused on Web3 only. And if you ask me, I think it was an amazing conference. Met several people, influencers, projects, crypto exchanges, people building a Web3. We got some investors came on a panel, how to raise funds for your Web3 project, and a lot more. That was fun. Overall, very very good, fun trip of India, if you ask me. And that's where actually today's guest is Advait Danke. We are going to talk about him in a little bit, but that's where he was one of the speakers at the conference. And because what he's doing in the industry, I thought it's a good topic to cover on our growth mindset show. If you know already, in growth mindset this show we cover different topics not related to programming only, but more than programming, right? Just general chats, growth, and growing a professional career. Fabio says black screen for me. Good question. Maybe Simon can help. Maybe it's a refresh issue. So to me, okay, we're good. Awesome. So Fabio, welcome to the show. Deepak, Rohit, welcome to the show. Again, guys, provide your feedback, questions, jump in, chime in. I like to this show to be more conversational, right? So today we are going to a little bit talk about the mental health issues in the corporate, our world, especially in IT. Um, and then we're going to talk about sound therapy. But before that, I bring our guest today. We are also planning the 2023 now. What does that mean? Means we are going to announce next year's conferences, several conferences coming up online as well as in person. uh, so we start working on that. So if you are interested in knowing that, just stay tuned on social media, C Sharp on social media platforms. um, we are also doing a lot of things on our website, so there's a lot more changes coming. And also I will do few more shows this year, growth mindset on different topics. But in 2023, we're going to plan it better. So we're going to announce probably ahead of the time what the show will look like. Well, with that said, let's not get too much boring. Let's get bring our today's guest is Advait Danke. So Advait,
Hey, hello Mahesh. Good to
hey,
connect.
welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and well, like you shared, the entire vibe and the ambience in the atmosphere in the conference, I'm still missing it. The energy was crazy, the audience was crazy, and well, it was a blast. Thank you very
Yeah, and
much.
listen, nice meeting you there. First time I met you there, and it was amazing what you're doing. And while I know a little bit about, our audience don't know. So maybe you want to start with introductions, tell people who you are, where you live, and what you're doing here, like, and then maybe share a little bit about your conference, the experience.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, as you can read, my name is Advait Danke. I am from Mumbai, India, and on the academia or the on the technical side, I work as a senior management consultant at Wow Labs. We are a product development company in available in the Web 2 and the Web 3 space as well, and I headline the metaverse and the Web 3 projects there. So, and as I'm into the marketing side as well, so I specialize in performance marketing, branding, and especially audio branding or sonic branding, how we can inculcate the aspect of vibrations in the brand as well, all the touch points, the consumer touch points, and how we can amplify the message using audio. And on the other side of things, I'm active as a spiritual keynote speaker. I help people to balance their physiology, psychology, and also their spiritual well being by utilizing the technology of vibrations and consciousness.
Oh
So,
wow.
that is what I have been doing. I'm helping brands and corporates for inculcating sound wellness in their institutions. So, as all the professional, uh, basically, the people can inculcate their productivity, enhance their performance, and focus using the sound.
Wow, that's great. You just said productivity, you said focus, you said maybe whole well-being, right? All those things are very actually hot topics, if you ask me, right? Because now entire IT world, like majority of people, if you look at any company, 80% of people are almost working from home now. And this is a challenging environment for IT, right? While we love to work from home, but we also find it sometimes distracting and so on and so forth. So Maybe before we jump into these questions, hey, welcome Anup to the show. Guys, we are going to take questions. So if you have any questions, what we are talking about, the topic of, well being, mental health, sound therapy, and anything else, you have any questions, your feedback, please feel free, get ready, get those ready, and start posting comments because we're going to take that in the later tail end of this show. So, Advait, obviously, it was amazing to meet you while I missed your session. It's running around, bunch of things. I would love to come back in person at some point and sit in your session, maybe in the front seat. That's what my goal is. But yeah, so let's talk about this. You mentioned in your your topic is sound therapy, and I heard that first time. What is sound therapy actually, and how does it work? If you
Absolutely.
can educate us on that.
Sure. Well, now the quantum science says, or the quantum physics says that we are nothing but a vibration, and we have been studying this technically from right from our childhood. I still remember in back in the school days, the fifth standard, sixth standard time, the chapter of resonance and vibrations. So
Well,
the
before you
science,
go there, you talk about quantum physics. I did
yeah,
my bachelor's in physics, but all I did is I didn't understand what it was, so I did all, we do all ratta lagana, right? So I just did that. So I have no idea what you're talking about. But now
sure.
quantum computers are coming out, so this is becoming a big deal.
Absolutely. And one science or one aspect of the quantum science talks about the vibrations, that we are nothing but a frequency. But the thing is, how do we experience that as human beings? We have been talking about the atoms and the vibrations and the quantum space or the zero edge space or even the God particle. But then, how do we experience the vibrations within us? Because if the planet is moving, if the planets is creating a frequency, we human beings as a material or mass is also creating a frequency. So the sound therapy is a science which deals to the question or to the experience of how can we experience these sensations from the modality or from the lens of sound. And this science goes back to our ancient cultural heritage from the Vedas and the Upanishads, or even from the across different civilizations where people have been talking about, the scientists have been talking about how we can experience the sound within us. So sound therapy is basically a modality in which we can recorrect our frequencies scientifically as well as spiritually, at the body level, at the mind level, and how we can enhance the consciousness by inculcating the rightful vibrations. So it's a therapeutic intervention for managing our emotions, our thoughts, our decision making patterns, our lifestyle patterns by inculcating the positive vibrations.
Oh wow, that sounds like, I mean, it sounds good, but also like, top level. Just it's hard for me to even understand how it works. So you know how we are actually in this, and I'm only going to talk about my world. I'm not going to talk about everybody.
Absolutely.
I'm going to talk about IT worlds, right? I've been in IT for so many years, and IT is something where, especially the programming world, right? We sit on a computer a lot, we talk to machine a lot, we're already writing code 8 hours, whatever, 6, 8, 7 hours, and then you're watching movies, and then we are on the phone. So we are kind of all addicted to these devices, right? If you go to home to if you leave home and you forget your phone, you feel like your arm is missing. You're like, whoa, what's missing, right? So it's not like you never forget your phone these days, right? You're sleeping with the phone. So can you share something like how these devices and machines are affecting our mind and health and physical or mental health?
Yes. So the digitization, well, it causes a sensory hack within us. Basically, the five sensory perceptions that we have, the visual sense, the auditory sense, the smell perception. So, when we spend too much of time into the digitization, it causes an imbalance in the sensory perception, first of all. And on the brain side, or we can say when we understand about brainwave entrainment, there are different cycles in our brain and which can be measured through EEG. So when we spend more time on the screens or digital landscape, the thing what happens is we stay in the beta brainwaves all the time. And because of that, the brain is creating signals to release the stress hormones first. So the body is as if it is into the stressful environment all the time, but at the same time, by spending more time digitally, it is causing a confusion within the body and the mind communication.
Hmm.
And that is where the stressful hormones are all the time getting released. And the body is not able to go into a deep relaxation mode.
So when these hormones are releasing, does that mean our body think we are stressed or we are really stressed? What does that mean?
Yes, exactly. Now, if we consider a situation where there is a live wild animal in front of us, the body needs these stressful hormones to run or to survive. But now the same situation is created in our corporate life, in which the tiger is or the lion is our boss, or maybe our colleague, or maybe the wife also. We don't know, right? So the body is kind of in a confused state that it has not been able to understand the right environment, because it still thinks as if we are living into the survival mode.
Hmm.
So now
Interesting.
when we get introduced with this sensory perceptions, it can be digital or it can be through the visual senses or audio senses. So it creates a confusion within us basically, and we are not able to come back into the relaxation state or into the state of fight, escaping from the fight and flight mode.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Wow. So, and now I'll ask again, multiple times during the show is if, our people who are listening, right? Most of them are IT related. They are watching on computer. They're watching on a screen
Right.
already. They probably, releasing a lot of stress hormones right now. So what are the some of the few tips, and I'll come with mental health a little later. What are the some of the smallest tips or some minor tips you can give to people? They can do little things to help with that or cope with it.
Yeah. So the first thing is when we are, so the major aspect or the fundamental health aspect, when we talk about the science of Ayurveda or natural living, it is the pillar of sleep. Nowadays, we are going into a sleep, but we are not actually experiencing sleep, deep sleep, because we are not being able to go into the theta state or the delta state, which is the state of deep sleep and meditative state, because we are all the time thinking. We are into the state of overthinking or overwhelmingness. So, to be able to go into a deep state of sleep, it is very much essential to get away from the digital tools and the gadgets at least 45 minutes prior to your sleep. And the same thing
Okay.
follows when you wake up. So, creating a timeline or a schedule in which, or a routine in which you kind of block away the digital tools, screen time, or even the audio time, because our sensory perceptions needs to be relaxed, because they are all the time engaged. And this is where the body and the mind spends more time. It is like a data, right? We receive data, we absorb the data. So if we are talking about the data information, the body, we can imagine as if the body is nothing but an antenna. So we
Yeah.
are all the time receiving data and giving data in terms of
Yes.
vibrations.
Yep.
So if we need to have a sleep mode, right, even in our body and mind, we need to turn it off to the sleep mode, right, or in hibernation mode.
Yep.
For that to happen, it is very much essential to you. If we see a task manager, right, we need to stop the services, right, we need to stop these five sensory services as well for us
Yep.
to be able to go into a sleep mode. So that is one essential tip which has impacted millions of lives,
So this
and
tip
which we,
again, let me remind this tip so our users, viewers, if you missed the tip, I think number one tip in today's world is 45 minutes before you go to bed, stop looking at your phone. Actually put the phone away. Maybe in different room, even turn it off in different room. And also when you wake up, take 45 minutes before you look at the phone. I'm going to do that actually. I don't i don't watch phone in the evening before I go to bed, but when I wake up, first thing I do is look at my phone. So this is what I'm going to change personally. I agree with you. I feel like our body is nothing but a computer, right? So more these days we are feeding too much information, and our brain is always working, sometimes too much processing going on, and it's overwhelmed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. So that's one tip. We'll get to another tip after that. So welcome everybody. Welcome Atul, Yatin, Rajay, see Digital Lab for Africa joining us. Welcome to the show. If you have any questions, you have feedback, chime in. You experience something else related to the same topic. Oh, our friend is back here. To the growth mindset. Ledger is back. Um, all right, good to see you back again. So let's continue talking, right? So Advait, you were at the conference, right? You were at the Bcrypt conference. You were C Sharp Conver conference in Delhi. Uh, Tell us a little bit about what you thought of the conference, and how you think people who are in IT world, if they attend these conferences more, will it help them from this mental healthness side?
Yes. So the conference, first of all, it was a fabulous event. Audiences coming, students coming there, industry experts coming there, panel experts, knowledge subject matter experts, and sharing knowledge. It is basically, if we talk about in the language of vibrations, it is about sharing and receiving vibrations, giving and receiving vibrations, and that exchange of vibrations is very necessary as human beings. And the conference created a situation in which the people who wanted to seek knowledge, they got the knowledge. People who were seeking for fun, they also got fun. And people who were looking to network with, that was the essential, the crux of the conference itself, that meeting different industry experts, networking with them, and sharing information, valuable tips and advices. That was a great experience, and it is very much needed nowadays. We are working from home. Almost 80% of the industry is working from home, and that essence of being a human being is missing. That is the connection and the feeling of being into community, right? Now the web3 space is all talking about community first experience. So being able to deep dive into real connections as human beings and exchanging that vibrations is very essential. And I think the conference gave us that experience. Even this was the first large event that I attended post covid, and being able to include the aspect of mindfulness in a tech conference, or to be able to relate and to share the spiritual insights and the consciousness insights and how technology is related with that, it really gave a new insight to the students, because they were the majority of the part, they got influenced with that information. Because generally students think that the spiritual life comes afterwards, but for me, if you kind of, when I'm sharing this information, the spirituality came first in my life. And because of that, I could see a 180-degree shift transformation in my life, professional as well as personal. And it goes credit to the practice of meditation, being able to calm the mind, being able to relax the body. So I think as IT professionals, as business owners, as entrepreneurs, it is very much essential that we first fix our mind, fix the thoughts, fix the consciousness and the vibrations that we have. Unless and until, because the product that we release, the business that we share, or the services that we render, they are an extension of your consciousness first. So if we are driven with fear and survival, guess what will happen? We will attract the same vibrations and the same tribe which is into the state of fear. But let's switch back to the states of innovation and creativity, which is very rare.
Yeah.
So if we operate from that state of innovation, growth, and creativity, we will attract the same kind of tribe. And that was very much seen in the conference. So
Awesome.
being able
Awesome.
to share that experience was very valuable.
All right. So reminder, tip number one: 45 minutes before you go to bed, stop looking at your phone. Number two, try to attend in person conferences. So
And
that's
C sharp conference,
yeah, definitely C
especially
sharp
C sharp.
conver. Yes, yes, because those are the fun events. So that's great, Advait. Love it, love it. So now let's how in think about like in IT world, right? What we are doing is oh, this is Rajesh. Thank you. Rajesh has a great comment. Every time I attend the conference, I take something into my organization. Last time in 2019, it was Resharper, and this time is Blazer. Thanks. Great, Rajesh. Oh, that's great. I'm glad you brought something back to your to your company. Awesome. It was nice meeting you in person, Rajesh, and a great picture you shared. Thank you. No, so that's great, right? So let's talk about this, the life of a professional like software developer, right? They come to the office usually whatever 9 to 5, or they're working and from home, or usually they work 7 8 hours, sit in the lot on the computer, watching at the screen, writing code or learning. What are other tips you can give during the work time? They can take either breaks, stretch. What other tips you think that can help them physically as well as mentally?
Yeah. So the first thing which happens when we are sitting continuously for 7 to 8 hours or even more than that, the connection between our vagus nerve gets blocked off. So we have the biggest nervous stem which connects the brain, heart and the navel. So it connects all the major organs in the body. So when we are not optimizing our the ergonomics, how we sit, how we interact, the connection between that is lost. And because of that, nowadays, if we ask any IT professional, are you able to sense your body? They will say, no, I'm not able to sense my body itself. If the sensations of the body itself are not in right place, we are not in well-being. We are not in wellness. And guess what happens? If the perception of the body is missing, we lose the perception of the mind also. And that is why we are not able to manage or see the thoughts clearly, right? A good entrepreneur or good IT professional or the people who are at the peak performance, they are able to manage the energy of the thoughts and the execution of the thoughts at the right time at the right place. So the practical tips which I give to the brands and institutions and companies is to include the sound wellness aspect and the aspect of meditation during their workplace. So the moment they enter into the office or before the office or before they start with the work, it is very much essential to clear the intentions or to clear the state of the mind. And for that, 5 to 10 minutes of quick meditation, especially with sound therapy, will help you boost that initial dose of frequency. Because to enhance that, we are dependent on the caffeine or the coffee or chai, right? But it stimulates the nervous system and it degrades the nervous system more. It's like a false illusion. Absolutely. But we need the dose of chai any which way. So a good chai or a good coffee is very much essential, but you can avoid the sugar intake in that. And then you can have the dose of meditation, especially sound therapy. And then when you post lunch, again, if the company allows, again have that dose of deep rest for 5 to 10 minutes, because that will reset your caliber and that will reset the nervous system. So these are the two essential timelines which I've been guiding people and organizations to inculcate for enhancing their productivity.
So that's a great tip, but what if your company doesn't allow, but you can only sit on the chair, right, or walk around? Is there anything
Mhm.
they can do? Because they're allowed to
Yeah.
walk, they can go, what can you do? Because, to me, I don't see a lot of company will say, "Oh, everybody go do yoga, or go do meditation."
Absolutely.
That's not happening. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, true. So the sound therapy meditation is very simple. Just by using the headphones or earphones, you can sit at your chair also and you can go into a deep state of relaxation. And
Okay.
apart from that, I think now, as and when I'm meeting Fortune 500 brands, they're inculcating this aspect of mindfulness and even spending some time in nature in their corporates or in their environment. So a practical tip would be keep your water bottle handy, able to meditate with your phones with by using headphones, the sound therapy protocols which I have been designing, and at the same time spending some time in the nature if it's available near your company, so that really resets and that creates a reset for the body and mind. That is very
Okay,
much
that's awesome.
essential.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing has helped me is I live here with the nature, like nothing around me but trees and animals, and so yeah, it helps me a lot. One of our LinkedIn user, I think, I don't know the name, has asked what is sound therapy. We did cover that. Maybe you want a quick, quick spend in a minute, and or also guide them where they can learn more about sound therapy.
Absolutely. So sound therapy is an intervention of sound and music to enhance our well-being. our physical well-being, our mental well-being by inculcating the positive vibrations and removing the dense and negative vibrations.
Okay, and where they can learn more about it? Is there any place?
So yeah, so they can just search my name and they would find my YouTube channel or a couple of links on Google, and they can start to experience couple of sound therapy protocols which I've designed for meditation, deep sleep, productivity, study time also, or boosting
Awesome.
their career frequencies as well.
Okay. We have another question from Facebook user saying, "What is the best and quick way to keep motivated ourselves during our office time, especially in WFH?" I'm not sure what is that.
That is work from home.
Oh, okay, okay. Work from home. Got it. This is a
Mm,
short. Okay. Yeah. So, any tips?
sure. So the best thing which I do, which keeps me motivated, even I work technically from home. So the best thing which I find is to being able to calm the mind and to relax. That enhances my inspiration and the motivation. And what I also do, especially, is to keep a plant on my desk. So my desk is very zen oriented. It's very meditative. So the environment around, if you can check my background also, it's filled with zen and sound therapy instruments. So channelizing the right environment is very much essential to keep our vibrations intact. So the desk that you have, even the computer screen that you have, right? Nowadays, even I had that habit of having 100 icons on my desktop, but organizing it and keeping it very mindful and conscious, keeping it very organized, that has helped me to work more and to enhance productivity more.
Yeah, that's great. So, I can add more to that. Uh, this is a great question. You're working from home, you're by yourself, usually it gets boring. So, what I do is I take frequent breaks. I think every hour or every 45 minutes, I take 5 to 10 minutes break. One break I'm doing making tea, other break I'm stretching, other break I'm walking outside. So, I take these breaks, and these breaks, I don't do work or I don't think about work, right? Maybe also that's one tip I can give. I do a lot of stretching. Stretching helps a lot, as you said. Our nervous system has to be very active, so our sound and waves from brain to whole body they fluid right frequently. Um, and then also I do is to get motivated. I think you need to also have a good friends who are motivated. They have good energy, right? Try to stay away from people who are low energy, who are negative. Try to be more friend with positive people with high energy. Those two things work for me. If you ask me two tips. So Suresh Singh said hi in Hindi. What you typed in hello hi in Hindi? How do you say hi in Hindi? Namaste. Namaste, Suresh. Welcome for joining us. So yeah, if anybody has more question, anything else? So we are running out of the time, Advait. Anything else you want to share, add here, which our users can benefit from, viewers?
Absolutely. The inculcation of, as you rightly said, spending time with good people, that is very much essential. So maintaining a culture of team and connection and being able to communicate what you truly feel, that is what I have been especially doing for my professional environment as well. So if you feel as if your connection with the team is not at the right frequency, you should communicate more, because maintaining that company culture is essential if we are working from home nowadays. It feels very lonely sometimes, it feels alone basically if we are working from our home. So that essence of being able to create a team or community rather than work team, calling it a work team, it is as if we are spending time with the family. So creating the culture of family within your workplace environment is the next the trend for the trend to follow. So
Okay.
maintaining company culture as if it's a family and being able to communicate and connect with your team, that is very much essential.
Well, that's great, Advait. I think we are running out of time. Simon is going to kick us out soon, so we can keep talking all day on this. This is a great topic. Maybe I'll invite you back to the show again in future. Um, And definitely I would
Absolutely.
love to have you in one of our, upcoming conferences in person, and then I want to join your session.
Yes, looking forward to that.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. All great comments, feedback. Appreciate you being with us on this Friday. And then I will see you next Friday, same time on this Growth Mindset Show. Thank you.